Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your sources and really uncover the most important insights. Today, we're doing a deep dive into some material we received about a specific cricket match, the IPL Final.
Yeah, this looks like maybe an ESPN match report, something like that.
Looks like it, yeah. Focusing on Royal Challengers Bengaluru batting against Punjab Kings, so RCB's in it.
Exactly.
And our mission really is to unpack how PBKS managed to keep RCB, a pretty strong batting lineup, down to 190 for 9 in this huge final.
And what were the key moments, who stood out, that kind of thing?
Precisely. All based on what this source tells us. Yeah. Okay, let's get into it.
Absolutely. So the source, it sets the scene well. IPL Final, high stakes, RCB batting first against PBKS in Ahmedabad.
Right, Ahmedabad. And it gives some important context right away about PBKS.
It does. It mentions their record coming into the final, chasing. Apparently, they'd batted second 6 times in the tournament and won 5 of those chases. Successfully chased 5 times.
Wow. Okay, so that tells you they'd be feeling pretty confident about chasing, almost anything reasonable.
Definitely adds a layer, doesn't it? They know they can chase well, so the bowler's job is clear. Keep it contained.
And the source says they did pretty well on that front. Restricted RCB to 190 for 9.
Which, in a final, 190 maybe feels a touch light. We'll see.
Yeah, potentially. But how did they manage it? The source mentions the pitch, something about tennis ball bounce. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, the pitch conditions. That seems crucial to the PBKS strategy, according to this report. Okay. It wasn't like a super slow pitch overall, but the report notes that shorter lengths, if you bowled it short, especially with less pace-off deliveries, those balls really seem to dig into the surface. They kind of stopped a bit or bounced unpredictably. Misbehaved just often enough is the phrase used.
Right, okay, so not just skidding on nicely. Something for the bowlers to work with if they hit the right spot.
Exactly. Hit that spot, take the pace off. Things happened.
And the source says PBKS really leaned into this.
It does. It says their seamers use this tactic, bowling hard lengths, persistently and with great skill.
Hard lengths. So just short of a good length, hitting the deck hard, targeting that tricky bounce area.
That's the idea, yeah. Really hammering that specific zone where the bounce was inconsistent. It wasn't just random bowling. It was a clear plan tailored to the surface.
All right, very smart cricket. So, okay, let's look at how RCB's batters handled this. Virat Kohli, 43 off 35. Decent start, but...
Yeah, but the source notes he struggled for timing, specifically with his pull shot, which says he played quite often.
Interesting. So his go-to shot wasn't quite coming off against this tactic.
Seems like it. And, eventually he got out playing that same shot, the pull shot. Shows how effective that hard length, variable bounce combo was. Made even a master player's key shot risky.
Yeah, wow. Okay. What about the other big hitters? Phil Salt, Rajat Patidar, Liam Livingstone. The source says they got going but couldn't kick on.
That's a really key theme in the report. Began promisingly, but fell just when they were looking threatening. That's almost the exact wording. Getting starts, looking dangerous, then getting out.
So PBKS kept striking at crucial times. Who was doing the damage there?
Well, the source highlights one bowler in particular for getting those 3 guys. Kyle Jamieson.
Jamieson, what was his method?
According to this, he used the slower leg cutter with great success.
Slower leg cutter?
Yeah.
So taking pace off and getting it to move away from the right-hander?
Exactly. Imagine that coming off those hard lengths with the ball already doing a bit. A slower ball moving away would be incredibly tough to line up, especially if you're expecting pace.
Deceptive. So PBKS weren't just one-trick ponies with the hard length. They had variations working too.
Right.
Jamieson's cutters.
Mixing it up effectively, breaking those partnerships just as they started to look, really dangerous.
That seems vital in keeping a T20 score down. Constant pressure, regular wickets.
Absolutely. But the source does mention one RCB batter who briefly found an answer.
Who was that? Let me see. Jitish Sharma. Says he was the only one who found a method to attack PBKS hard lengths successfully. Quick runs, too. 24 off 10 balls.
He really did. And the source gives us his method. Making room, using his feet, and exploring the V behind the wicket.
Okay, so unpack that. Making room, using his feet, getting away from the ball a bit.
Yeah, giving himself space, maybe moving leg side or coming down the track slightly, not just standing there and reacting, and then exploring the V behind the wicket.
Targeting the area behind square on the offside. Like between point and third man.
Pretty much, yeah. Or even finer. Instead of trying to force it square or pull, he was using the pace maybe and guiding it back there. A different approach to navigate that tricky bounce.
Clever batting. adapting on the fly. And it worked for a bit, created some momentum. The source mentions his partnership with Livingston.
Yes, a 5th wicket stand, 36 runs off just 12 balls. That's some serious acceleration. Suddenly, RCB looked like they might push towards a much bigger total.
That must have been a worry for PBKS. How did they counter that?
This is where the death bowling comes in, and the source says PBKS nipped that threat in the bud. Crucial couple of overs.
Okay, who stepped up?
First, Vijay Kumar Vishak bowled the 18th over, got the big wicket of Jitesh Sharma, the guy who'd found the method.
Huge wicket.
Massive. And Vishak only conceded 5 runs in that entire over. Just stifled the momentum right there.
Brilliant under pressure.
Yeah.
And then the final over, the 20th.
Arshdeep Singh, and according to the report, it was, well, a bit of a masterclass.
Oh, yeah. What did he do?
He found reverse swing, which is gold dust at the end of an innings.
Definitely. Allows you to attack the stumps more, get it moving late.
Exactly. The source says he went full and attacked the stumps, didn't just try to contain, went for wickets, and he got them. 3 wickets in that final over alone.
3 wickets in the 20th.
Yeah.
Wow. And how many runs?
Just 5. 5 runs and 3 wickets in the last over of the final. That just completely shut the door on RCB getting anywhere near, say, 200. Killed any remaining momentum.
That is absolutely exceptional death bowling. Game-changing stuff. So, looking back, the key bowlers highlighted by the source. Obviously Arshdeep and Jamieson earlier.
Correct. Their figures are pulled out. Arshdeep Singh, 3 for 40. Kyle Jamieson, 3 for 48. They were the main wicket takers who executed those key strategies, the hard lengths, the variations, the death bowling.
Makes sense. Now, the source also touches on some commentary points, doesn't it? A bit of debate around Kohli's innings.
Yeah, it does. It mentions a discussion, possibly on air, about whether Kohli's innings lacked intent.
Right.
For a final.
Right. And different views on that.
Seems so. Tom Moody, quoted in the source, apparently felt it did lack that necessary intent. But Varun Aaron also mentioned had a counterpoint.
Which was?
That given how other partnerships kept getting broken, maybe it was actually important for Kohli as the captain to just stay there, anchor the innings, prevent a total collapse.
The classic T20 dilemma, isn't it? Attack versus anchor, especially when wickets are falling. Interesting that the source captures that debate.
Yeah, shows the tactical nuances being discussed.
And there was one other unrelated commentary point mentioned, too, about Shreyas Iyer.
Oh, right. Yeah, the source includes comments on Shreyas Iyer as well. Tom Moody saying he's improved as a player and grown as a leader.
Okay.
And Varun Aaron adding something like, Shreyas Iyer has walked the talk time and time again, seems like general praise captured in the report.
Got it. So let's try and pull this all together then. What's the main takeaway from this deep dive into the source?
Well, based purely on this report, PBKS's success in keeping RCB down to 190 really came from a very smart, well-executed bowling plan. They used the Ahmedabad pitch conditions, that tennis ball bounce.
Those hard lengths.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Persistently bowling those hard lengths, but crucially mixing in clever variations. Jamison's slower leg cutters were key in the middle overs.
Right, breaking those partnerships.
Yeah. And then Arshdeep Singh's brilliant death bowling, finding reverse swing, attacking the stumps in that final over that just sealed it. They shut down RCB's momentum at critical points.
Individual skill in the big moments, executing a clear team plan.
That's what the source suggests, yeah.
Okay, so here's something really interesting to think about. Picking up on that commentary debate about Kohli. Intent versus staying power. If you, the listener, were the captain in that situation, high-pressure final, wickets tumbling, bowlers exploiting the conditions, what's the bigger priority? To trying to force the pace yourself, maybe take bigger risks? Or is it playing the long game, batting deep, to ensure you post some kind of total, even if it's not explosive?
It's a tough one, isn't it? No easy answer there. Depends on the score, who's left to bat. Lots of factors.
Exactly. What's the greater value in that specific moment? Something for you to chew on after this deep dive.